chat box, then we can look at it later. So that is what we are going to be looking at today. So like we explained yesterday, we are going to be looking at the financial literacy curriculum because so many things has changed, because we are moving from just a loan solution to financial services provider. So we are going to be looking at some of those changes. So quickly, of course, these are things that you are familiar with. So in talking to our end users, which we have invited to our financial literacy training, this is one of the slides that we are going to be using. And then, of course, in the course of this training, we are going to learn how to make a call to prospective customer, because going out to get a customer to do community sensitization is one thing. Another thing is to get that customer to come for this financial training. And then you will agree with me that the way you talk to them on phone actually determines how well they are going to take your invitation, whether to come or not to come. So we are going to be looking at how to make a call too, just for like a minute or two. So, but as part of what we are going to be training them on, this is the main slide. So we are going to be talking to them about what is money, then what is referred to as a transaction, of course, planning and management, their rights and responsibilities, credit and debit, what does it mean? And then, of course, what are the likely dangers of micro credits and loans? And at the same time, we are going to be looking at micro insurance. So for us, I won't go through all this definition. Of course, I'll just try to talk to the slide. So money for us is anything that we can use to buy goods and services. So money does not mean naira and kobo. It does not stop at dollar, pounds, or whatever. Money can be anything that you can use to secure goods and services. And I'll give you a typical example. Before we use money, there is what we call a trade by barter. You bring rice, you bring a gari, you bring a yam, and of course we can all exchange it. So, but of course, over time we find out that I need rice, you need gari, but the gari that I have, you don't need it, you need something else. And then, of course, what you need, and another person does not need it. So that comes to the realization that yes, we need something that we can use to buy goods and services. That is where money comes in. And money does not stop at naira and kobo. Today we are talking about cryptocurrency. Abubakar was talking about cryptocurrency yesterday. That is a form of money. CBN, I think last year, launched e-money. Of course, it is still money. We have what we call mobile money today, which is more or less virtual money. It is still money. There are some telecommunications today that have what we call a PSB license. So people can actually recharge their phone and still use that recharge to buy other goods and services. That is still money. So money does not stop at pounds, dollar, and naira. So that is one thing that I want us to take out of this discussion. And then, of course, transactions can happen from man to machine, from machine to man, from man to man, from machine to machine. If I go to an ATM, for example, of course, I put in my card, I'm doing a transaction. If you go to somebody that is selling pepper, you want to buy, and you are exchanging money, that is actually a transaction. If I pick my phone and I'm sending money from my own account to your own account, that is still a transaction. So transaction happens every time when there is a movement of money from one place to another. So transaction does not mean that it has to go through the bank, or it has to go through the financial system. It can be from one yam seller to another pepper seller. So that is a transaction, and then of course in that transaction there is a giver and there is a receiver, which is credit and debit. So by the time we get to that stage, we'll be talking more about that. So of course, the reason for us to have money, and then for transaction to take place, and then for us to want to use a digital means to do it, is just because we want convenience. It's going to be easy. You don't need to go out probably to go and queue up somewhere. Then of course, we find out that it is faster to do that. Of course, if you want to send money now, you don't need to go to your bank. You can just bring out your phone. Then with two or three punch on your phone, you can actually do a transaction. And then of course, it reduces fraud. Fraud reduces with electronic transaction, but that is debatable. But then it is safer for you to be on a digital platform than not to be. But of course, there are so many things going on to make sure that it is more it's more safe for us to use. And then of course, processing costs too is going to be reduced. You don't need to spend 1,000 naira to take a bike or maybe take a bus to get to your bank. You know, from the comfort of your office or your home, you can actually do most of the transactions that you want to do. Then money, when we are talking about money, there are so many ways to get money. There is what we call income. Income is of course after you have done a business. Of course, after you net off what you spent, and then how much you sell whatever that you have sold. Of course, whatever that comes to you, of course, it is an income to you. Then sometimes it is referred to as a profit. It is used interchangeably. So on-end income, these are some of the income that are passive. Passive in the sense that you have your money in your bank account. Of course, at the end of every month, there is an interest that is paid to you. That is passive income to you. You have your money that you invested in probably crypto, for example. Of course, that is passive income as well. So quickly, we move to planning and management. One thing about money is that money has a spirit, and the spirit of money is if you have money and you don't plan, there is every possibility that you are going to spend that money anyhow. And once you spend it, and after a day or two, you sit back and you are trying to remember how the 10,000 naira that you have yesterday has gone. Hardly will you be able to even recollect how that money is spent. That is why planning for your money is very, very important. And one thing that you have to do when you have to plan for your money is to learn the habit of savings. Savings is the money that you put aside, and you put it aside just because you don't know what tomorrow holds. You put it aside because emergency can come up tomorrow. That is why you have to do what we call savings. And then if you have to do savings, there is this school of thought that says that you have to save before you start spending. So if you have a salary of say 10,000 naira every month, so the first thing that you need to do is probably you need to say out of this 10,000 naira, 4,000 naira is for savings. So you first of all remove that savings before you start spending the remaining 6,000 naira. That is the proper culture, and that is what we should also be trying to preach, to say save before spending, not to save after spending, because you find out that there is possibility that you will end up spending everything without savings. And then, of course, why should I save? Just like I mentioned, you have to save because emergency can come at any point in time. Nobody plans for emergency. Probably your child is sick, or maybe God forbid, maybe somebody has an accident, and then of course you need to take out money to go and do some other things. So, but for some people, that probably your wife is pregnant, of course, it is a 9-month journey. You know that, yes, you need to save. So that is one reason why, of course, you have to save. Then also for some of us too, that of course we need to pay house rent, and then all of that. We need to make sure that of course we save towards all those things. Of course, we save because we want to send our children to better schools, for them to have a better life. So there are so many reasons why we should save, and the only way we can do that is to make it an habit, to make sure that we save before we start spending. Of course, like I said, credit and debit. Credit is when money comes into your accounts, or when you receive money for any goods that you have sold. While debit is when money leaves you. Maybe you pay for a goods, or maybe you pay for a service. And then, of course, a form of credit too is a loan, because somebody is giving you a loan. So it's giving you money. So, and then that money to you is a credit to your account. Of course, in order for you to use it wisely, of course, you need to know that that money does not belong to you, of course, and then you must make sure that it is used for the purpose for which that money is taken. And then, of course, there are so many ways you can get a credit. When I mean credit, we can be talking about credit card, we can be talking about soft loans. But what we are talking about now is the soft loan. But I know that at some point on this product, you should be able to request for a card, probably a debit card or a credit card. So a credit card and a soft loan, they are actually doing a similar job, but then in different ways. So for you to get a soft loan, there are some benefits that are attached to it. Of course, it comes at a lower interest rate. Of course, the approval process is fast. Then it is flexible. Of course, we can pride ourselves to say we with our solution, you don't need to go and bring a collateral. You don't need to go and bring your house document, go and bring your grandfather because you want to take a loan. So that is why one of our core service, which is the social reputation score, is very critical. And then it is one of the services that we need to sell to make sure that it is not only when you are visible online. Of course, you need to take a look at your own environment, your community, the people that you relate with, so that at some point you might need them for some of these soft loans. So that is why it is very critical for us to look at some of these things. And then your rights and responsibilities. Of course, if you are borrowing money, of course, you know that money you need to pay it back. It is I mean, compulsory for you to know that you need to pay it back. And then if you pay back, then it grows your own credit worthiness. That's what that means, is that if you pay back that money, if you collect 10,000 naira now, tomorrow you come back, you want to collect 20,000 naira, there is every possibility that yes, we are going to give you that 20,000 naira because you paid the last one. And then of course we have what we call the credit bureau. They are more or less like an authority that look at your credit ratings. So if you have collected loan from probably Zenith Bank, for example, and you go to First Bank thinking that you can also collect money, or even coming to social lender to think you can collect loan from us, there is a credit bureau that all loans has to pass through. So they are going to confirm to us whether you are still owing money somewhere. So there is no more hiding place for any loan defaulters. So just like I said, credit and debit, I think we've discussed this. Credit is when money comes to you. Of course, it can come in form of income, in terms of revenue. If you have a stock in a company, of course, as a shareholder, there is what we call a dividend at the end of every financial year. So all those money comes to you. Those are credits. And then debits are money that is leaving you. So if you spend money to buy water, buy money to pay for cab, and then all of that, all those are debits. So those money comes into your accounts. And then micro credits, like a credit card or like a loan, as good as they are, of course, there are some dangers that comes with it. Of course, if care is not taken, you have to make sure that you are sure that the interest rate is low enough for you. You need to make sure that there are no hidden charges, and then of course you don't take a loan that is far above your means. If your salary is let's say 50,000 naira every month, and you want to take a loan of 50,000 naira, and you want to pay back in 1 month, definitely you know that it is not. It is not possible. So you should look at whatever loans that you want to take. In fact, there is this calculation that it must be 1/3 of your salary, even of your basic pay. We are not going to look at your allowances. We look at your basic pay, and then we give you 1/3 of that as a loan, so that it will be easier for you to pay back. And then of course you have to be very careful of your repayment amount. And then if there are no hidden charges as an end user, these are things that you need to be careful of when you are going into getting a loan. and make sure that before you sign any agreement, any contract on loans, try to understand what you are signing. Though those agreements can be very funny because they are so tiny. So, but you still need to find time to go through it. So this is one of our new products, and it is called micro insurance. Insurance is something where most of us, we've heard about this several times, but then people are not buying into it. But with the way we want to do it, we should be able to get people to buy into insurance. Insurance is a way of you protecting a financial loss. Just like I was explaining the other time, probably somebody had an accident, or maybe you need to pay hospital bill. So you can actually pass that bill to your insurance company to pay on your behalf. You can actually pass the bill to repair your car if you had an accident to your insurance company to pay. So this is now called micro insurance. Micro in the sense that these loans that we are giving it to the low income earners is not for the billionaires, millionaires, among us. It is for those people that we know that yes, they have low income. They are not in the formal sectors. Probably they sell things, in the market. Those are the people that we are targeting this micro insurance for. And then of course, these are some of the benefits which we have to hammer on anytime that we are talking to our potential customer. It protects us against uncertainty. Uncertainty in the sense that emergencies can happen. Nobody plans for it. You have a store, a shop, you just stock it, and then overnight fire happened, and then it burnt everything inside that shop. So you did not plan for it. So those are uncertainties. Those are some of the things that insurance can pay you for. Payment for losses. In fact, there are some insurance company. I remember at a point when if you are buying phone from private slots, there are some insurance. Probably if the screen get cracked or something, you can take it back and they will fix it for you. That is a type of micro insurance. Of course, when you have a micro insurance, it reduces the burden. Of course, you don't need to think of certain things, because if it happens, you know that yes, there is an insurance company that is going to, of course, take care, of those payments. So you have one thing less to worry about. And of course, in another slide, we are going to be looking at this in details, where we'll be talking about premium claims, and then insurance fraud. Premium is, of course, the money that you pay for you to enroll to do an insurance, while a claim is, of course, if you want to take the benefits, after there is an issue. Then, of course, insurance fraud, of course, just like in every sector, there are ways that people try to game the system. So, but we'll be looking at all this properly in another slide. So, I hope we are following. I'm not seeing any question in the chat box. I want to believe we are clear.
No, it's all clear, sir.
Okay. So
the only thing now, you said the premium is what you pay to access the insurance service,
Yeah,
right?
yes, exactly.
Yes. Okay. Then the claim is what you are entitled to if there's any eventuality.
Exactly. And
Okay.
there is
So
a
before,
process for you, and there's a process for you to claim that money. So we are going to be expanding on that in one of the slides.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So quickly, let's move to what is social lender. Of course, this is question that when they wake up from your sleep now, should be able to answer. Our social lender is now a financial inclusion solution provider. We are no longer a loan provider. We have moved from a single service to multiple services. That is the game changer, and we need to hammer on this at every point in time. And what makes social lender to be unique is that most of these our services, we won't ask you to go and bring collateral. We won't ask you to go and bring money. We won't ask you to go and bring this, bring that. The only thing that we want from you is that you are socially responsible. We want to know the kind of people that you move with, people uh, that you know that is in your
Assalamu alaikum, salam.
community. You know how Abu Salah Rahman, can you please mute your
Abdulrahman,
mic?
please mute your mic. You are interrupting us.
Okay, thank you so much for that. So so the only thing that we require from you is just to make sure that you are socially responsible. The people that you move with, your own interaction with your neighbor, with your community, with your online presence, and then all of that. That is the only thing that we need from you. So that's another thing that we need to be selling to our customers. So quickly, of course, social lender, we have multiple channels by which you can access us. We have the SMS, we have the USSD, you have the mobile app. WhatsApp is coming on board. Of course, there are so many other channels that we are going to be looking at: ATM, POS, and then of course we'll be looking at agents too. In the course of this presentation, because there is a particular aspect of it too. So social lender is a multi-channel solution. We are not restricted to one particular channel. And of course, how does a social lender works? Of course, because we are a financial service provider, so we have to onboard you. You need to register. That is the first the first step. So once you register, of course, the next stage for us is to profile you in the sense that we will look at all your social engagement to be able to score you whether you are going to be giving certain services. For example, if you want to take a loan, of course, you need to know that yes, you are socially responsible, and then of course, if there's going to be credit, and of course, even micro insurance too. There is a social interaction part of it. If we know that you are a fraudster, of course, we won't allow you to request for our micro insurance, because there are responsibility that you may likely want to game the system. So so that is that. And of course, there is a minimum score that you need to get. So those are part of what you need to get before we can onboard you on our system. And then of course you have we have a second level of assessment where whereby we call those people that you have submitted as your probably guarantor, sponsor, or maybe those people that you have given us that yes, they can stand as a referee for you. Of course, we do all of that. So once we are sure of the person that you are, of course, definitely you have access to all our services. Then you can request for any of our service. So that is and then we've talked so much about social reputation score. So just make sure that you are socially responsible online, offline, in your community, in your neighbor. If you are a landlord, if you are a tenant, you have to be sure that you are in good terms with everybody. And then, of course, a sponsor, I mean, a referee. What does that mean? A referee is or is a sponsor is somebody that can stand in for you, either as a guarantor. And then a guarantor is somebody that says, if you give this person a loan or you give insurance to this person, then if anything happens, apart from the fact that I'm going to produce it, I'm going to pay. That is what a guarantor means. And then we need to be very clear when we are explaining this to our customer to say, before you stand in as a guarantor for somebody, make sure that it is somebody that you know very well. In fact, there are some forms that they are going to clearly write it there that it is dangerous for you to be a guarantor to somebody that you cannot trust. So, and then for us to, as a staff, we need to know that yes, guarantor means if this person should run away, I'm going to find him, and then if I cannot find him, I'm going to pay on his behalf. But a referee is just somebody that is just to say, of course, I know this person. So he's not financially.
Excuse me, sir.
Financially,
Sir,
Abubakar.
please, I need to use the toilet, sir. Just
Okay.
10 minutes.
Okay. You can just type it in the okay. That's fine. So okay. So as a referee, you are not financially mandatory to say you have to pay. You are just saying, I know this person, and that is all. So who can stand in as your sponsor? Of course, your friends, family members, colleagues, mentors, and of course, people. These are people that can stand in for you. Then for micro insurance, cover, of course, there's still a slide where we are going to explain all of these things. So a micro insurance cover that is available on Social Lender today. Just like I explained yesterday, we have FBN Insurance and we have GoSee Insurance as our partner. And then as our partner, of course, these are some of the insurance policy that you can subscribe to. So we have the hospital cash, we have the fire, content only, we have the alternative rent, permanent disability, and death. And what makes this insurance policy unique is that it is a combined insurance policy. So if you subscribe to this policy, you have subscribed to all the policies. So if any of this happen, you are going to get paid. So you don't have to say, okay, let me do hospital alone, let me do fire alone, let me do rent alone, or of course. So for you, it is a question of how much is this going to cost me every month. as of today, this costs you only 500 naira every month. And then, of course, you will be looking at, of course, if something happens, so how much am I going to be, entitled to? So we are going to be looking at that too in a subsequent slides. And then, of course, if you subscribe to this policy, these are some of the benefits which we have also, of course, explained earlier. Of course, you won't have to pay for some of those losses. Of course, it reduces your burden, and then all of that. So let me just pause here, and let me just ask if we have questions, or if we have any feedback at this point. Hello.
Yeah.
Let's make it interactive. Do we have any question? Do we have anything to?
Sir, it's just the loan the insurance categories that you mentioned. I would like to get clarity on.
Okay.
The health and whatever.
Okay, that's fine. So the next slide that we are going to go to now is going to explain in details what that insurance is all about. So okay, let's quickly move there. So we are now, this slide is just going to talk about services on social lender. So of course, there's no need for us to talk about this again, So these are the services that we have: social reputation, micro insurance, credit and loans, farm inputs, cash and the deposits services, then carbon credits, and then of course, just like we said yesterday, there are major services and there are minor. So the minor services are the community sensitization, financial literacy, the ones that I'm giving now, of course, BVN registration, account opening, and then of course the agricultural best practices training. So for social reputation score, is something that we are familiar with. Of course, it's something that has to do with taking the aggregate of all your social interactions, online, offline. So we have an algorithm that has a way of giving you score for each of those interaction. Of course, these are some of the places where we can get all those social responsibilities from. So it can be online, it can be on mobile, social media, governments, friends, community, and then all of that. So micro insurance, just like I said, it is an insurance for low income people, and it is for against emergencies, uncertainties. And presently we have FBN Insurance and Gozi Insurance as our partners. And yesterday it was mentioned that we need to start engaging other insurance companies. We need to start engaging microfinance banks for us to bring them on board. Of course, for credit and loans, we have Sterling Bank, we have Unity Bank, we have FCMB, and then of course we can give loan, ranging from a month to 3 months, depending on the. And then of course the minimum is 5,000 going to about 100,000. So you need to take that. Of course, the farm input has to do with with the farmers using our service to get loans to buy fertilizer, to buy seedlings, to buy some equipment. Probably they need to buy cutlass, they need to buy hoe, all those things they can use. Of course, cash deposit and the cash withdrawal. This is service that any account number that we have opened for you, or maybe an account number that you have profiled with us to be on social lender. Using our platform, you can actually withdraw money and make money into that account. That is withdrawal and transfer. You can do it using social lender as a platform. So of course, we partner with iTrustPay. So, and then carbon credits is coming soon. Is something that you still need to be trained on. Of course, our community sensitization, like I said, is free. You are not meant to collect money for this. It's free. It is done with the help of a local guide, an ambassador, and a local guide. They need to go out, and then in the process, they talk to people. And then, of course, the other one is the financial literacy. It is a service. It is also free. It is free. You are not meant to collect money. And at the end, of course, we try to make sure that we have between 5 and 15 people in attendance, so that we'll be able to listen to them and be able to respond to them appropriately. And at the same time, just like we said yesterday, there are some items that you need to produce at the end of each financial literacy session. You need to provide attendance register. You need to provide 5 pictures that are very clear. You need to provide 5 minutes video of the session, and then of course you need to provide what I call the impact assessment of the training that you have given at the end of that training. The BVN registration too is free. So I'm sure that all of us, we know how to do BVN registration, even though there is a slide that talk about it. But then just make sure that it is free. You are not meant to collect money from anybody that you are going to open BVN for. And at the same time, this should be a free service, and everybody, including the local guides and the ambassador, must know this. And then, of course, like we said yesterday, we have the internal registration, we have the external registration. People can come into our location. We will register them, and then, of course, sometimes we take the machines to the public places where they can register people. Then account opening too is free, but we can only open account for the banks that we partner with, which today they are Unity Bank, FCMB Microfinance, and the Sterling Bank. So you are not allowed to collect money. You are not allowed to open account for any bank that is not on our service. So of course, the last year too is something that is in the pipeline, where we train our farmers on the best practice. What they need to do, for them to have a good harvest at the end of the season. So that is talking about the services that we have on social lender. So in trying to explain in detail what Abubakar and then maybe Abdurrahman asked for the other time, so I will likely do that at the end of this session, so that we don't disrupt the flow. So insurance policy, just like it is explained here. Yeah, we said we have okay, let me go back to this place. I think it is here. Okay, let me use this to explain this policy. The insurance policy that we have with GOSI today is what we call GOSI for sure. That's GOXI for then sure. I'm going to write it in the comment box. It's called GOSI for sure. Yeah, that is the name of the insurance policy. So this policy has to do with a combined insurance policy that caters for hospital bills. Probably you are sick and you are in the hospital, and then you couldn't pay. So if you have subscribed, the insurance company will pay on your behalf. For the fire, you can see in front of it, it is written content only. Content only in the sense that if you have a shop, for example, and then it got burnt, insurance will not pay for the shop. They are not going to pay for the building. So they are going to just pay for the content that you have inside that shop. For example, if you have 10,000 or maybe 20,000 naira worth of goods inside the shop, that is what they are going to be responsible for, not for the repair of the shop. That is why it is said content only. Of course, alternative rent has to do with, of course, probably you need to pay for your rent. Maybe for one reason or the other, you couldn't pay. Emergencies do happen at times. Probably the money that you save, you have used it for some other things, and then of course there is a need for you to pay rent. So if you subscribe to this insurance policy, they'll pay on your behalf. And at the same time, we have what we call the permanent disability. Permanent disability has to do with probably you have an accident, or maybe a part of your body, you cannot use it again. Of course, they are going to pay you for that occurrence. And then of course, death compensation. Of course, some of us we don't like talking about that, but that is the thing that is the surest that, one way or the other, at some point everybody is going to die. But then we need to prepare, we need to plan for it too, because it is possible somebody has an accident, an Okada accident, a Marwa accident, and of course the families that you leave behind, of course there is something that they should look forward to. So that is why that benefit to comes into play. But all this insurance policy in one is going to cost you about 500 naira every month. Only 500 naira every month. That is what is going to cost you. So and then the benefits that you are going to get at the end of the month, if anything happens, is 30,000 naira. So there is a slide that that talks about all of this. But just like Mr. Moody said yesterday, until we are ready, there's still going to be a whole lot of training specifically tailored for micro insurance. But what we are just trying to sensitize ourselves about today is to make sure that yes, we understand some of the terms that we are going to be using going forward. So when you hear insurance cover, when you hear insurance policy, when you hear premium is the money that you pay every month for you to subscribe to an insurance policy. So every month I pay 500 naira to subscribe. So that 500 naira is a premium. I can decide that premium I'm going to pay it twice in a year. So that is by annual premium. So every 6 months I can decide that I want to pay it at once, which is 1,002. That is annual premium. So it depends on what is convenient for you. And then at the same time, if for any reason any of this happens to you, of course insurance will kick in. So you need to make a claim, and the way you can make a claim is there's what we call a claim form. You need to fill a claim form. That claim form is what you need to submit. So by the time you submit it to the insurance company, of course, there are some verifications that they will need to make. Of course, they will need to make sure that you are not trying to defraud them. That was why that issue of insurance fraud came in. So meaning that they need to make sure that whatever that you are claiming actually happened, because they are going to verify. Then it is after that they have verified, then that is when they will now pay you the benefit. So the benefit is what you are going to take at the end after the verification has been done. If I have insured myself to say, if this happens, you have to pay me 100,000 if it happens. So that's 100,000 naira that I'm taking is the benefit. And then the process of getting that money is what is described as a claim. So, and then for you to claim, you need to use a claim form. I hope that is understood. So let me just pause here and ask if we still have any other question.
No question.
So I will say we are fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so let's quickly move to the next sorry, I'm trying to, part of what we are to submit is to show that this training actually took place, the attendance, and then so I'm trying to take the picture So I don't mind if we can all just put on our video just for 1 or 2 minutes. So let me see who is there. I can see Abdurrahman, I can see Taiwo, I can see Okoyemi. Okay. Okay, that's fine. So quickly, let's move to this. This is critical, and the reason why I want us to treat this is if we go out on community sensitization and we come back to our location, we are meant to call those people that we have spoken to. And the way and manner that we engage them will determine whether they are going to come for our financial training or not. Though there is a script here that we have to follow, but this script is just a guide. It's a guide in the sense that it guides you on what to say, what not to say. You know, you can't call a customer and you start asking, how is business, how is madam, how is this, how is that, because you have a time limit. Probably you need to make that call within 30 seconds to 60 seconds. That is the maximum, probably 45 seconds for you to make this call. And then, of course, you also try to make it interactive in the sense that you are not just talking as if you are a robot that has been programmed. Just say, hello, good day, sir. This is calling from Social Lender. I'm calling to say that is not the way to do it. So I'm going to call one of the prospects that I've spoken to before. So his name is Adeshina Ismail. I have some other ones there. So I just want to call the person. I hope he's going to pick, so that we will have an idea of how to make a call. And then it does not matter that you have to use English. These are some of the slip that was taken from them. These are the slips that you are meant to come back to the office with after your community sensitization. So I'm going to call this person. I'm going to put him on speaker. I just hope he's going to pick. So let me just dial his number. 00353 06152. Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Who am I speaking with?
Hello, my name is Kwazim. I'm calling from Social Lender.
Okay, you are welcome, sir.
Okay,
How may I help you?
Okay, am I talking to Mr. Adeshina?
Mr. Adeshina, yeah, you are right. I'm the one.
Okay, I remember talking to you about Social Lender about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So I think it's almost 2 weeks, sir. Almost 2 weeks. Yeah.
Okay.
That was last month.
Yeah, that was last
towards
month.
the ending of last month, so almost 2 weeks. Yeah, you're right, sir.
Okay. So I'm calling to invite you to our financial literacy training. I remember telling you that we are going to have one probably before the end of that month, but unfortunately we couldn't have it. But now we are set to have that financial literacy training this weekend. I don't know whether you'll be able to come around.
I think so. I think you gave me one something.
Yeah, that was a slip that I gave you.
Yeah. You gave me
So
that
so
one, yeah,
the date on that slip is no longer
oh,
is,
they gave you.
it's old.
Because time
So
has gone, so
yeah.
it was true. Because I'm supposed to come up last month.
Yes, we
And
couldn't. Yeah, we
exactly.
couldn't do it. But
Okay.
we are going to be having it this weekend, and it's going to be at Songoto Gate. I don't know whether you are familiar with Songoto Gate side.
I have some friends there towards that winner side. I used to come to the winner side.
Oh.
So I have a friend, that's the north area. So, but that's Songo. Where we try to locate the address. Yeah.
Okay, what is going to happen is that after the end of this call, I'm going to say.
Is it Saturday or Sunday or Friday?
It's going to be Saturday. It's going to be Saturday.
Okay.
Yes. So
when exactly time?
It's going to be 10. It's going to be 10 a.m. till around 1 p.m. on Saturday. But I'm going to send you.
Within 3 hours.
Yes, I'm going to send you the full detail later.
Okay. Probably I won't mind. You can even tell that address because I don't know whether I can locate that slip again.
I'll do that. I'll do that
Okay.
after this call.
I am, by God please, I'll be available.
Okay, thank you so much for your time.
Yes, sir. Have a wonderful day, sir.
Okay, I used to. Bye bye.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, guys, that is a call to Mr. Adeshina. I just want to know. Let me see how many minutes or how many seconds that I spent on that call. Let me see. I think that call took a long time because there are times that you don't plan for calls. This took about 2 minutes 36 seconds, but we should just try to prime ourselves to make sure that we are not spending more than 60 seconds for calls. So I'll see. Let me see if I can call somebody else. Let me see who is. Okay, Zay Michael. Let me see if I can call this person. Different people with a different 1, 2, 8, 6, 8, 5, 3, 7, 6. You can speak English. You can speak your native language. It doesn't matter who you what language that you are using. It is a function of passing a message. There are some that will pick. There are some that will not pick. There are some that will call you back later. Unfortunately, this guy is not picking. Okay. Unfortunately, is not picking. So the import of what I've just did is just to show you how to make a call. Try to go straight to the point. There are times that they want to take you to other things. They might be asking you to explain to them what is the training going to be all about. You don't need to now start telling them we are going to train you on this, train you on that, and then So you just tell them that of course they need to come to the place for them to know that yes, they will get all the details. But for this person that I called now, I'm going to call him back to explain to him so that he won't be looking for the place on Saturday. So that is that on the scripting for the call. So it is after this call that those people that you have invited. That is when they come for your training. And then part of what to train them on are some of these things that we have explained, taking them through the social lender financial literacy curriculum is very important. Then taking them through, explaining to them what social lender does, the services, especially our insurance, then the BVN registration, account opening, and the likes. Those are the things that we expect you to take them on when they come for that training. So I don't know if we have any question at this point in time. Any question? Hello, any question?
Yes. What you are reading, we can only see the logo. We can't see the write-up from your screen. Oh.
Okay, you are only seeing the logo.
Yes.
Let me check what is happening. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Can you see it now, Abby?
Now we can see now.
Okay, that's fine. I think I was on the last page. So do we have any questions, any clarification to make?
So since we'll be having a major training around this, I think for now it's okay.
Okay. So the next slide that we are going to be going into is what we have all known, but it is still important for us to look at it, and that is the local guide. Local guide, what are they supposed to be doing? So this is part of the training, because you are going to be training two set of people. You are going to be training the ambassadors, and you are also going to be training the local guides. Are you getting it? So it is possible the two of them will come for the training together. It is possible that it's going to be, separate, but the proper thing for us to do is to make sure that we have all the trainings. And for the local guides, of course, we know what their duties are. Of course, their job is to assist the ambassador to go into their communities. And an ambassador cannot go into a community without a local guide. Let us understand that. Do you get it? Let us understand it. So, as a local guide, you need to have a physical location. That is number one. You need to be able to speak the language of that community. You can have a shop, you can be a community leader, you can be a pastor, you can be an imam, you can be anything in that community, but it must be somebody that is well known in that community. And then part of their job is also to help to register end users. They can assist to direct end users to our office locations. they can help to promote social lender by making sure that the banner that we give to them, it is displayed conspicuously, at their location. So those are some of the things that they need to do. And at the same time, of course, as a local guide, you also assist social lender to onboard customer. We've talked about this yesterday, but we just need to continue to talk about it. So ambassador needs local guides. So one ambassador can take on 4 local guides. So that is what it is. And then these are some of the activities that they need to do. But as a local guide, by the time you do community sensitization, financial literacy, you have moved that end user to do is a BVN registration. He has opened an account, and then he has been onboarded on our social lender platform. At that point in time, that is when a local guide is paid his dues. Unlike an ambassador that collects his money at the end of the week. So we need to understand this process so that we will understand at what point are their payments due. So, and of course, for community sensitization, just like we have countless time remind us, we need to get pictures. We need to get video. 5 minutes video is important. 5 clear picture is important. It is important because we want to be sure that what they said they have done, they actually did it. The community that they said they went to, we want to be sure that yes, they went to that community. Not that somebody is sitting down somewhere and just looking up figures for us. So that is why it is critical that all these things are submitted. And of course, during financial literacy too, there are items that we need to submit as well. So I don't need to go over that again. And then for the BVN registration, like I said, we have the internal registration, which is Mondays and Thursdays. That's 10 a.m. to 12 noon. While external registration is Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Friday. So meaning that on those days, we can take our BVN scanner, our laptop, and everything. We can take them to locations where we can register end users. Then, of course, we can open accounts for them. And just like we said, we cannot open any account that is not a partner bank. You have to make sure that they are partner banks. And then, of course, they are responsible to make sure that we have end users on our social lender platform. And then our major services, just like we have said, loans, micro insurance, withdrawal, cash deposit, farm inputs, and all of those things. Those are the services that we are going to be selling going forward. So, and this is the this is the journey. So from when they start a community sensitization up onto when that customer start enjoying our service. And just like we said yesterday, we are going to have a one-pager that just explains all of this that probably we can give to the ambassadors and the local guides. And this is just to show you how some of our banners can be displayed at those local guides shops and location. And at the same time, at any point in time, we are going out. I remember telling us that let's make sure that we are on our social calendar jacket. That on its own, it is an advert to see our name. Of course, they know that yes, these are reputable organizations. They can see the name. Of course, when you are talking to them, they can relate. You can't go into a community wearing mufti, maybe wearing babariga, and then start talking to people. You have to ensure that at every point in time, our vest is worn by the local guides. So the next slide here has to do with BVN enrollment. Yeah, I know that you all know how to do BVN enrollment, but it's just about 42 slides. So I'm not too sure with the time that we have left, we might not be able to go through all the 42 slides. But what is important here is that BVN is a product of NIPS. So Social Lender is not actually the owner of BVN. So we have to make that very clear. It is NIPS product. So we are just partnering with NIPS and some banks to make sure that we help them to enroll people on BVN, because without a BVN, you cannot open a bank account. But because we want to open an account for people, then they need to be enrolled on BVN. So we have BVN scanners that has been deployed to our locations. Of course, we have a laptop, and then of course there's a minimum configuration that you need to have. Of course, you need to have a white background, of course, and of course the process of enrollment is that, of course, they need to fill a form. They need a passport, photographs. Then they need a ID card, probably driver's license, NIN. Because of I think as at the last time, about 97 million people have registered on NIN. So that makes a whole lot of sense if you are asking people to produce their own NIN. But then if they have a driver's license, if they have a voter's card or maybe a passport, international passport, they can still use it. And of course, this is how the form looks like. And of course, you need to make sure that before you start registration, you need to check that you have a full, your laptop is in good condition, the scanner is okay. And of course, the software on the laptop is up to date. And of course, you need to attend to them in the order that they arrive, so that it won't be rowdy, so that there won't be noise. I came first, you came last, and then all of that. Except in some cases where probably we have pregnant women, or we have elderly people, of course, and then probably nursing mother with a baby, of course, we can talk to people to probably allow them to be registered first. Of course, during registration, there are so many things that you need to do. You need to be snapped. You need to place your hand on the scanner, and then of course there are so many things that the system will have to do. So, and then of course after you have registered, of course you need to make sure that you sign off that you have registered, and then of course you can just leave quietly without causing issue. So these are some of the interfaces that we are familiar with, of course, when we are trying to register. Of course, how to put your hand. Of course, when you put your hand, you have to press it very well on the scanner, just to make sure that the fingerprints, can be recognized, and then of course.
Excuse me, sir.
Okay, yeah.
Sir, there are situations, I think me and Ofemi, we have faced a situation during OCP whereby their hands, I don't know, their hands, we are finding it difficult, because of the fact that most of them are farmers and the rest. So we find it very difficult as I did to capture their hand.
Okay, so what happens in most cases is that probably when you are going there, you need to go with spirit. In fact, let me tell you a story, maybe in 2 minutes. The last election, I was unable to vote, and the reason was that my thumbprints could not be read, and even my facials could not be read. So I had to go back home. I had to go and wash my hand, use a spirit, use all manner of things. In fact, at a point I had to go back home to go and bath again, clean my face very well. But at the end of the day, I was still unable to vote. And this is a place that I have voted more than 10 times in the past. Presidential, senatorial, gubernatorial, I have voted in that same location. So sometimes it is not because they are farmers, but sometimes system can act funny. But then if we have situations like that, we can always use water to wash their hands. We try to make sure that we have a spirit available. They can use it to wash their hands, and then to sometimes when they place their hand on the scanner, we can use our other hand to press their hand to make sure that the hand is well placed. So the bottom line is that there are times that things do not go the way we want them to go, because these are systems. They can fail at any point in time. But we want to make sure that at least we are able to record 90 to 95% success whenever that we are trying to enroll customer. So I think that is just of course how to take photographs. This is just of course they don't need to look down, you don't need to look up, you don't need to be too light or too dark. Of course, I'm sure we all know how to do all of that. Of course, sometimes you don't need to use a dark dark shade, don't need to use a hijab to cover your face, and then all of that. So these are some of the things that probably we need to do. So basically, that is what this slide is looking at. So the last session that we are going to have before I will allow us to ask question has to do with account opening on social lender. Of course, as part of our services, we have looked at how to do community sensitization. We have looked at how to do financial literacy. We've looked at BVN registration. Then the last one is the account opening. So for the account opening, just like I said, we are going to open an account for only our partner banks. So, and then of course, these are things that we know. Of course, for us to open an account, they need to fill a form. That is important. And then of course, just to remind us, account opening is free. Nobody needs to pay. It's free. So that is critical. And then for you to open an account, these are the partner banks that we have today: Unity, Sterling, and FCMB. And then for the Unity Bank, this is how their form looks like. And this form is available online, so you can download it. So just fill this form. Once the form is filled, the ambassador, of course, needs to check to make sure that it is filled correctly. If there are any things that is not clear, probably the name or maybe the phone number is not clear, and then we'll probably BVN, and then all of that. We have to make sure that we are capturing the correct things. So this is the portal. So for the portal, you just log in there. It asks you, and now you click yes or no. Of course, it moves to the next stage where it's going to show you the form. You fill in the form. So once the form is filled, then you submit the form. So once the form is submitted, then there is account that is generated, and the account number is sent to the phone number of the person that you are opening the account for. It is almost immediately. That is why it is very important for us to make sure that the phone number is correct, so that we are not sending account number to somebody else. And at the same time, in the course of putting our BVN, you have to make sure that it is inputted correctly. So that is how to open a Unity Bank account. For the Sterling Bank, I understand for the Sterling Bank, we can actually use SMS to open the account. So you just need to send your full name, STB, that's a Sterling Bank, then open account, then you put your BVN, just like it is shown below. Wazim Atiola STB, open account, then you now put in the BVN. So once you send that message to 7447, of course, you are going to get a message, that is going to give you the account number that has been opened for you. But for this particular one, of course, you will notice that it requested for your BVN. So that means for you to be able to open account on Sterling Bank, you definitely must have a BVN. So that is why in the process of our services, BVN registration comes before account opening. And then for the last bank, which is the FCMB, the process today is that in the process of requesting for some of our service, you are going to open an account in that process. Probably you want to request for loan. Of course, as part of that process, account is open for you. So there is no a standalone account opening process. So that is what is obtainable today. But I want to believe at some point we are going to have account of opening process that is going to be a standalone that FCMB customers will be able to have account of opening process. So that is the end of the day 2 training. So I don't know if we have any question or if we have any feedback as to how far the training that has been done today, has been. I can see so many people have dropped off, so we need to hold on a bit. Network. Okay, Abaka is back on.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
The training was very wonderful. I've seen a lot of changes and improvement, and I hope that whatever we are going to kickstart in the next time, it should be more effective and efficient. So, sir, is it that before we are going to hire the ambassadors and do all the trainings and all, well, the issue we have arise yesterday will be sorted first before, so that it will not be like after employing them now we'll not be giving them more instructions. I don't understand. Or maybe we are just going to do it before that, or I don't know.
Okay, the purpose of this training actually is to do what I'll call in-house cleaning, or maybe I'll call in-house awareness. Is for us to understand what we are going to be selling going forward. We want to be able to internalize it, to understand it. Just like Mr. Moody said yesterday, there is still going to be a series of other trainings tailored to a particular service. It is when we understand all these services fully, that is when we will start taking it to the market. But that is not to say that today, with the little knowledge that we have, we can still be going out for us to do a bit of sensitization to say social lender is now going to be giving is now going to be doing insurance. You are now going to be using social lender now to withdraw money, to send money. That is part of the sensitization that we are talking about. And then, of course, like I did mention yesterday, is the matter of management approval. Once we have that approval, probably by next week, they are going to be SMS that we are going to be sending to our customers that are currently on our platform, just to sensitize them on the changes that they are going to be seeing, in the future. So that is the purpose of this. So now talking about ambassador engagement. For now, we are still going to be running the process that we are going to be running until we have all our services, because it doesn't make sense for us to now employ local guides, bring in ambassadors, and the services are not available. So it is of no use. So we wait until when the services are up and running. Internally, we are using it. You are using it. Using it. Okwa is using it. Tawo is using it. And then we have understood all the technicals behind it, and then how to support it. That is the time that we can now say, yes, let us now go out. Let us now bring in ambassadors. Let us now bring in local guides. So as of today, the process that we are running today, which is for us as a project assistants to be acting as ambassadors, to still go out and still do community sensitization. We are still going to be continue to do it, but in doing it, we are now going to be telling them about our new services. That is the purpose of this training. So, Okwe, do you have any question or any comments? We have about 10 minutes to the end of this session.
Thank you very much. So that was a very wonderful presentation. So for the insurance, for the insurance aspects, though you said we are still going to do a proper training on that particular product, because I'm more concerned about how to lay claims, after buying insurance, and at the end of the day, customers want to lay claims. How do they go about this? But since you said that we are still going to do a proper training regarding that, I think we look forward to that particular aspect. So for the ambassador aspect as well, so we still go ahead with our normal activities while we also introduce new products we have on board to our potential customers. I think those, at the long run, probably we just need to modify some of the activities, the way we approach them and the way we carry them out. I think that's fine. That's all from my own end.
Okay, that's fine. So apparently, before we started, so some of us alluded to the fact that the battery, probably their battery, and then of course, like we all know, internet too can be funny at times. So there are network issues. So it has been an engaging and interactive session with the team today. So hopefully we are going to meet tomorrow for the third day, and for the third day is going to be the other way around. The other way around in the sense that I will be listening to you guys. Listening to you guys in the sense that in the last 2 days, I have taken you through some of the changes. So the last day, which is the third day, is the trainer now listening to the trainee. Okay, what they have learned. Okay, how they are going to be doing this going forward. So that is what day 3 is going to look like. And I want to believe that it's going to be as interactive as day 1 and day 2. So on that note, I will say thank you so much for being part of the training, and we look forward to tomorrow 10 a.m. for us to continue. So thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your day. So we'll hand it.